Hey guys, happy Friday. Welcome back to my channel. Sorry, my phone may be a little dirty, the camera screen. Anyways, I wanted to say that I hope you're all having a good day so far and how everybody is. I know life is crazy for a lot of us. Trials and tribulations never end, you know. I went to this Bible study today and then last night a different Bible study. Let's freaking see, because you guys already know, like, I'm freaking very chaotic, and I am just like, oh, you know, trying to catch my breath. But I was gonna say that yesterday we were talking about growth and stuff like that, and I really started thinking about everything, and I realized, you know, I've grown so much. Sometimes it doesn't feel like there's been any progress. Sometimes it feels like, you know, gosh, you know? But then I'm like, dude, remember literally all of the stuff that I've been through. And, you know, I don't know. It just really made me really think about things, because a lot of the days I am really focused on all of the chaos instead of the, you know what I mean, calm. And so I tend to focus on all of that. I have water that's right here, so it's not a passenger. Anyway, you guys, I'm not gonna act like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be cured, because I don't know, but you know, we'll see. I've done this before. I do this, I go back and forth. It is what it is. I freaking try, and then I'm like, you know. But all I know is no matter what, I have made a lot of progress. Really, sometimes it really doesn't feel like it. And I'm like, Jamie, you're not getting far enough. You know, you could be blah, blah, blah. But then I thought yesterday of that little girl who was, you know, I want to say 5. And my mom looking out the window, talking about the tree people. And, you know, making me go pick flowers with her at freaking 5 in the morning. And just my life, you know, and the life that I give to my children. You know, I'm far from perfect. I'm super dysfunctional. I never deny it. But I'm trying my, you know, and those around me know I'm really trying. I've changed so many things. I mean, it's a work in progress for sure. Progress, not perfection. But you guys, you know, I'm so proud of myself that I've come this far. Like, I really never in a million years thought that I would make it. For so many years, I lived that motto. I don't know anything because I never learned anything. I still learn stuff every day, really. But for years, I lived in that same stuck cycle where, you know, my mom was like this, my dad's like this, my siblings like this. So I'm going to stay like this, you know, or this is all I know. This is all I know, you know, and I would relapse, and then people would be like, oh my gosh, Jamie, you know, and I'd be like, this is all I know. And everybody around me that knows me my whole life knows this is really all I knew, you know what I mean? It's not a lie. But I've made a lot of progress. I'm really proud of myself. Trying really hard to be consistent with so many things, and it's really hard because I have ADHD. And ADHD can cause so many issues for me, man. So many. But I'm really proud of myself, you guys. And if you made it another day sober, I'm proud of you, you know. Even if you didn't, I'm proud of you, and I hope that you can do better, you know. Life is really hard, and sometimes it's really hard to get sober. Then once you get sober, you expect everything to fall into place, and it just doesn't work out like that. You know, I mean, it will fall into place eventually, but usually it's kind of rocky, especially in the beginning, and it definitely was for me. When my mom died, January 17th, 2016, it was like, you know, my whole world fell apart. My mom helped me with so much, and at the same time, you know, I helped her with so much. My mom was really a different person. I never lie about it, and you know, this is our reality, you know. My mom loved us, and I know that she loved us, but she grew up in a different world and with a lot of trauma. And so she would always talk all kinds of shit about me to my sisters and my brother, and be like, oh my gosh, Jamie's a fucking bitch, and da da da, oh god damn it, Jamie Rose, and blah 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 blah, fucking Jamie Rose, and blah 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 blah. But then talk shit about my older sister and my younger sister to me all the time. That's what she always did, like my whole life, especially before she died. You know, she'd be like calling my older sister, talking all kinds of shit about me. Then as soon as she hung up with her, talking all kinds of shit about her. And it was like, that's just the way Rosemary was. But no matter what, my mom would do, you know, she just did things differently, you know what I mean? When we were homeless, when I was pregnant of Nevaeh, I was homeless, and even before I had gotten pregnant of her, and my mom, we would go stand on the corner of fucking North Blackstone and stand there, and she would panhandle for money to get me food. And, you know, whenever she would get enough money, she would always give me the food first, no matter what, you know. And like, that's fucking sad shit, but that's my memories, you know what I mean? And I remember just everything about my mom, you know. And losing my mom really affected me so much, because I really didn't think I was going to make it. And honestly, for a really long time, I didn't want to make it, because I thought, you know, even though my mom was so dysfunctional, that was my mom, and you'll never have another mom, you know. I know my mom loved me, and I know, like, that was the only mom I'll ever have. And, sorry, but, you know, and it's really hard sometimes, because I really thought my older sister was gonna fall into the motherly role, you know, and get her shit together and be there for us, you know, and be a fucking big sister. But she hasn't. She never has. And it fucking hurts, you know? And I don't know, I just really thought that, like, once my mom died, that my sister was gonna, you know, be there and be a support and, you know, just love us. And she hasn't, you know. Anyway, and I feel like a lot of the responsibility that my older sister is supposed to have, I ended up having. And, you know, it is what it is. But anyways, sorry you guys, like, fuck, I wasn't intending on crying and stuff, but anyway, so I was just thinking about when I lost my mom. I've shared this with you many times, but if you haven't heard it, I'm gonna tell you again. I was 26 years old, and I had a really, really crazy life. I had a lot of children by the time I was 19 years old, you know, and, you know, my first at 14, and I had baby after baby, not even knowing what it was like to be a mom, and, you know, never having stability. And, you know, my children, I lost my children, you know, and so that really did a lot to me. And I followed right in my mom's path, my dad's path, my sister's path. You know, all three of us have had 6 children, and all 3 of us have lost custody of our children. You know, my older sister had, you know, went through some shit with her older 2 kids. My mom lost custody of my younger sisters, and then I lost custody of my older 3 children, which really killed me and really led me back into addiction really, really hard. And that could have been the end of my story, and that was supposed to be. Like, that was supposed to be the end of my story. I fully believe that in my heart. When I lost my boys, and when I say lost, I mean I left my kids for drugs because I was fucking blind. And I'll never deny that. I'm not a good person for what I've done, and I know that, but I'm changed and I'm trying, and that's literally the only thing that I can do. I can't beat myself up about my past mistakes, because there's nothing that I can do. You know, nor do I blame my mom or my sister or my dad for losing their kids, because it was just the way that we were. It was just the way that our life was at that time, you know. But I know for a lot of us that we used because of that pain from losing our children, you know. And they were not dead, but they were gone. And it's hard. It's very hard to move on when you know your kids are out there and you can't see them, you can't hold them, you can't nothing. And it's a really long story as to why, everything ended up being the way that it is, because, it was my fault, yes. But when I did take accountability and when I was trying with all my might, the person alienated me from them and filled their head with nothing but lies. And that's how it's been ever since. And I've chose to stay away, because whenever I do try to come around, I always get put down. I always get cussed at. And I can't handle it mentally. I can't, honestly. My brain is not there. My mind is not there. I'm not at a point yet where I can handle somebody cussing me out and telling me bad things anymore. Like, I am not, I dealt with it for years and I'm not at that place. But the whole freaking point of this story was that when I lost my mom, when I had all my children, I have so much pain inside of me. My heart feels like a big fat hole sometimes because of the pain. Each time something bad happened added more pain. Even all of the moving, all of the not getting to go to school, I was out of control, and I never will deny that I was out of control. I so badly yearned for stability. Like, I so badly wanted stability. I wanted, something that I never had, and I was really out of control. It was what I seen, what do you expect when you fucking grow up the way that I did? I don't blame myself for it, but some of my siblings still say, like, oh, you're out of control. Like, hello, like, I don't know. If you have men rotating in and out of your house with drugs all the time, like, Anyway, I had all these children. I had no idea what it was like to be a mom. I had no idea, you guys, none. And today I live with so much guilt because of losing my older kids. And I try to, not have the guilt as much because, like I said, I was young and I just didn't know any better. But never think for 1 second that I forgot about them, that I don't think about them or anything like that, because it's just not the way that it is. But, there's not a lot that I can do, anymore but what I'm doing right now. So all of those things caused me so much pain. And when I had lost my mom, I turned straight to alcohol as soon as she died. Literally, as soon as she died, I would drive around searching to find pills all day long with my kids with me. I wasn't a good mom. I couldn't be a good mom because I was in my addiction. And at some point I got off the pills and fucking on to something else. That was another addiction, and it's just been, yo-yoing over and over until finally, I got into this domestic violence shelter. But I ended up, you guys, when my mom died January, right? Mid-January, the kid's dad, who was super abusive, that's how I lost my teeth, he would keep breaking the no contact order. And so CPS came to my house, and remember, like, I was off and on in my addiction. So, they were all wind of everything, right? And they came to my house after he had broke the restraining order so many times, and they said, hey, we got alerted by the police yesterday that XO was here, and I want you to understand you're gonna lose your children. And I'm like, why? I'm not on drugs. You can test me. And they would randomly. They'd come randomly testing me, and I'd have to do it, and that was when I was like, I am not gonna fuck up. But anyways, they told me I had to move. They said, you have to move because you're failing to protect your children. So I called my older brother, my dad's sons, and one of my brothers came. He picked me up, packed my whole house. I moved with the other brother, which we have a lot of fucking trauma, deep rooted shit that's gone on. And anyway, I moved in with that brother, who was an alcoholic, who was not in a good position at all, mentally, physically, none of it. And I went from one bad situation to an even worse situation. Had my entire home packed into these boxes with my brother. Did not work out. Really, it was bad. Anyways, I ended up relapsing on meth with one of my aunts from my mom's side. So married into my mom's side, not like my blood, but married into our family. And that was a big fucking deal. So then I ended up having to come back to the other area, and I went into a domestic violence shelter, which was horrible for me. Horrible. Like, so bad. Because I'd just come off meth. I'm like fucking thinking everybody's after me. I'm fucking thinking everybody's following me. I'm like tripping out. And then here I have these two little innocent children who, you know, not only witnessed their father beating me, yelling, screaming all the fucking time, you know, had to have my mom who was an alcoholic around them, you know, which I love my mom and they love my mom, but that was hard too, you know, going canning with my mom, little kids fucking picking up cans and shit at trash cans. You know, not all of that, you know what I mean? All the shit that my children were exposed to, you know, at such a young age when they were innocent and they didn't ask to be born, you know, and these poor children got into the shelter with me. And you guys, something horrific ended up happening to my child, and it really fucked my whole world up so bad. And I really hated God at that moment. And I told God, like, I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. Why would you let this happen to my child? Out of everything in this world that could have happened, you know, anything would have happened to me, but not my child. And I had to overcome that. And I had to help my daughter overcome that. And I didn't know anything about anything, you know, and I went everywhere begging people, please help me, to churches, organizations, agencies. I told them, please, I am broken inside and I don't know what to do. And I told them my story about everything that had gone on, and, you know, people were just like, oh my gosh, you know, I don't know how you're still standing here, you know. And that was my story for a really long time. I didn't think I'd ever overcome what happened. And honestly, sometimes I'm not. Sometimes when I think about it, I think about torturing this person fucking piece by piece. But then I remember, you know, that that's not what God wants for my life. And, you know, I don't want to ever do anything like that, you know. But, you guys, it all happened so quickly. And then I wasn't okay for so long. I got pregnant again, which was not a good situation. Getting pregnant, I wasn't even stable. I couldn't even raise the other two kids I had. You know, I couldn't even fucking parent the ones I already had. And then when I had another one, like, bitch, you can't even watch your kids you already have. And I knew that, you know what I mean? But in my mind, I was like, it'll work out, you know? Anyways, you guys, all of that, I went through hell. I was working every time, I mean, but I was working at this place, and you guys, every fucking time my son, I would get called by the daycare, my son would get kicked out of daycare. You know, he freaking peed on somebody one time. My son has ADHD, all of my children do, but you guys, I went through so much stuff trying to find somebody to watch my son. Nobody wanted to help me. Everybody was like, we can't, this is too much, you know. And it was just so bad, where it was just like, gosh, it was such a struggle. I had my daughter, who's now gonna be 6, went through so much, you guys. Remember, all of that time, I don't have any mothering skills, really, like, very little, because I didn't see anybody. Patience and loving and kindness and, you know, those types of things. I did not grow up with that at all. Like, not at all. And the complete opposite. Like, whoa. You know what I mean? I should be here. And I was like, whoa. You know what I mean? And I just remember, like, again, going so many places, asking people, can you teach me how to be a mom? Like, I know it sounds weird. I got these 3 kids, but I don't know how to be a mom, and I feel like I'm not doing good, and I need help, and you know what I mean? And all of those things, you guys. And I'm far from perfect. I am definitely a hypocrite at times, and I will not deny that. I'm definitely a hypocrite at times. It's easy to point the finger at somebody else when you're, you know what I mean? But I'm really trying to work on everything, because, you know, I want to be better. I feel like I've made a lot of progress. When I feel like I haven't, I have. You know, I fucking can't believe where I'm at in my life right now. Some people in my family, they will say so much bad stuff about me. Oh, well, you're this, you're that, you're this, you're that. You know, I never lost my kids. You may never have lost your children, honey, but you weren't a really good mom to them. You know what I mean? And it sucks that some people think that they're such better people because, you know, they never had a CPS case, only because you hid. You know what I mean? But anyway, it's hard not to be angry at people, because I have a lot of anger in my heart towards these people. I'm really writing about it because it's there. But the bottom line is I've grown. I don't feel like I have, but I have. I used to be somebody who would always say, if you said something to me, if you said, oh, you're using, I would be like, no. Then you say it enough, I would go do it. And I'd be like, you shouldn't have said it because now I'm doing it. See, it's your fault. You know, I had that mentality, fighting, breaking things, all kinds of things, screaming, psycho, shouting matches, physically aggressive, verbally aggressive because of what had happened to me, right? And God has really changed me, you know, so much. Like, I can't even believe it sometimes. I mean, I'm so proud of myself and, like, the growth that I've made, you know. Like I said, I'm far from perfect, but so much progress has been made, you guys. And I'm so grateful, like, that everything is the way that it is, you know, because I can't even imagine, you know. But anyway, I wanted to say before I forget, so yesterday, I've had ADHD my entire life. Yesterday, and I wanted to do this for a long time, but again, it's been really a lot. I went and I got Nia's teachers, and they filled out the Vanderbilt questionnaire, which I have a copy of. And basically, it asks questions like, the answers are never, which is 0, and then occasionally 1, very often is 2, and very often is 3. Okay, like, has difficulty keeping attention, does not seem to listen when spoken to, is easily distracted by other noises, is forgetful in daily activities, fidgets, talks a lot. So I scored some of them 2 when they really should have been 3, but I started feeling guilty for marking a 3. I was like feeling bad about it. I was like, why are you putting a 3? This is your child. I don't know. It was weird, but and of course I did mark some 3s, but there were really more 3s than 2s, and I lied, and I told the doctor, I was like, I felt bad, like, that I was putting a 3, so I put 2 on a lot of them that should have really been 3s, but anyways, I'm kind of in denial at times, but the teachers, they did not hesitate, okay, and the whole reason for doing this is to get my daughter more help, because we all have it, you know, and I knew this, but you know what I mean, she wasn't diagnosed. Anyways, so, well, the doctor had come in, and of course my daughter's freaking doing cartwheels, doing backflips off the table, all kinds of stuff. And the doctor comes in, he looks at the paper, and he says, listen, whenever you see any 2s, that's an automatic red flag. Whenever you see the 3s, that's hyperactivity, right? And I'm like, okay. So he counts, and, you know, I'm thinking she's gonna have like 5, 10. She got a score of 39, which, you know, it should be between 0 and 5 anyway. And I mean, it's 0 through 50, and she got a 39 anyway. But yeah, so she was diagnosed with ADHD. Surprise! I have it, her dad has it, you know, but anyways, I don't know, just pray for me. It's all a lot. I'm really happy that everything is working the way that it is, because I went and got her into behavior therapy, and so I'm really hoping that that'll help for you guys to get, you know, and I'm so proud of myself, because my mom never did any of this shit, so it's like hard to do what you never knew, but you know what I mean, I'm learning. I'm so proud of myself. Like, my kids are doing so much better. My daughter's 11, my son's 9, my other daughter's gonna be 6, and so yeah, I'm like, the fact that I've had my children by myself, you know, with all the stuff that's gone on, that's more than I can ever think of, you know. You guys, thanks for listening to me vent. I appreciate it. I hope you guys have a really good day. I gotta go mail my dad's birth certificate. God bless you, and bye.